back to Loose Women this Friday afternoon. Now, you have been sending in your droves your embarrassing stories, so let's see if any of them can top ours.
Oh, we're
going to kick off with you, Lise.
Very funny one here from Tracy. She says, my ex-husband and I were in a shop and I didn't see him leave. I went over to another man who I thought was him and put my arms around him and kissed his cheek. He just laughed and I ran away with the biggest red face.
Oh,
very funny,
good one.
I've got one from Rachel. It says, I was once waiting to be picked up for my first date. My date told me the make and model of his car and to look out for it. So when a car slowed down beside me that was the right make and the right colour, I hopped in only to find out it was a little old man and I had to mumble and apologise and get out.
That's brilliant. Helen's emailed in to say, last year my boyfriend and I had a few drinks at a friend's house and decided to stay over in the spare room. In the middle of the night, my friends woke up to my boyfriend sleepwalking naked at the bottom of their bed.
You do that, don't you? That's you.
I could have done that embarrassing thing when I was on the corridor naked of that hotel.
You got locked out?
Don't want to know that
God,
now.
God.
Flashbacks.
No, Tim did it once and had to go downstairs with the Do Not Disturb sign.
It's a very big sign.
I've got one which is funny. She says, I once woke up on a Sunday morning after a heavy Saturday night in a church in the middle of the Sunday service. I was sprawled on the back pew with the congregation singing and I had no idea how I got there.
Is that from Denise Welsh?
From Carol McGiffin. So it's from Vicky. That's very funny.
That is something you would do. In fact, they're all something you would do.
Oh, my God! It's like the Temperance Society all of a sudden here.
And that's why we love you. OK, it's competition time now. And the best of luck to you. Now, we want to say a huge good luck to Zara Phillips and Mike Tyndall, who are due to tie the knot tomorrow in Edinburgh. However, earlier this week, rugby player Mike said that in an interview, he revealed his future wife and he are very different when it comes to their personalities, describing Zara as fire and himself as ice. However, Mike's mum has said that despite coming from very different sections of society, they're not as different as maybe they like to think because they've both got the same family values and they both come from very loving homes. So do you think, ladies, that the best relationships are between opposites, both in personality and in terms of the backgrounds from which you come?
Well, I think when I met Paul, I went with him and I fancied him because I thought he was posh. I know I'm not posh, but I've always liked a bit of posh, and because he had that sort of that foppish sort of hair thing.
Look posh. He does,
and
yeah.
He does look posh, that sort of preppy look, and I thought I could aspire to be someone who lived with a posh bloke and lived that posh life. But as it's turned out, he's as common as me, which is actually a blessing because now we've sort of, you know, we've grown together, and I think that the fact that we do have similarities. I mean, in the beginning, what attracted me was the opposite. As it turned out, he was actually very much like me, and I'm really glad he is.
So really, opposites didn't attract?
No.
Yeah, no, well, they didn't really because they were fake. Do you know, in the beginning, I think it's chemistry as well. I think there's... And then after a while, you get to know somebody, and I think you sort of morph into different aspects of each other, you know? There are gaps...
You look like each other, though, don't you?
God forbid
Yeah,
I'm married to Tim. Sorry, darling, love you.
But I think...
Well, he does look very good as Leslie.
Yes, he does. Yes, he
Yes.
does.
He does not.
Oh, shut up. He does look good as Leslie.
He's making the best of himself as Leslie, isn't he?
I mean, Dens, I would say that you and Tim have got lots of similarities, but do you think there are opposites at play as well?
I don't think we have that many similarities. I mean, obviously we're both Geordies, so there is that, which sometimes helps if you're from the same region. And when we came together, we came from we cut our teeth in the live theatre company on the quayside up there, so we had like mutual friends, so we had like a friendship group that we'd both known before.
You laugh at the same thing.
And acting, you're both actors.
Yeah, we're both. Yeah, I suppose we do have quite a few things in common.
I suppose you're the fiery one, aren't you, though?
I've got the temper, but it's a bit like my dad's. I mean, it's there and then it's gone. He's more of a sulker. But I mean, we have completely different interests and things. I mean, things like, you know, we can't really go to the movies together or anything like that. Even watching television, you know, I'm watching my documentaries on serial killers and he's watching reruns of Bullseye with Jim Bowen on Challenge TV.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I think that's why you get on, though.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I guess so. I mean, we are from slightly different backgrounds. I suppose I had a slightly more middle-class upbringing. But we were both from, again, very, as they said on that thing, very, very loving back. And sadly, he'd lost his mum and dad when I met him, but he was very, very close to them.
It's interesting you say about you're the fiery one, because in our relationship, we're both fiery. If it comes to, like, trying to win an argument, we both have to win it. I mean, Paul is quite...
But that's impossible, so how do you resolve things?
Well, over the years, we've realised that actually I'm right, and... just have to get on with it, really.
I don't know about your backgrounds deciding whether or not you can be compatible. I think it's more about whether or not you have a chemistry that is compatible, whether you want the same things out of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't suppose I've ever dated anybody really well to do.
Paul and I want the same things, because we both now, we've moved to quite a posh area in Gloucestershire, and there are lots of members of the royal family around. And if I hadn't got Paul and I didn't feel that he was from the same kind of background as me, I feel a little bit like I've come from downstairs.
Is that when Bo says to you, Mummy, why do you change your voice when you talk to the people here?
I don't think it should matter where anybody comes from,
and
though.
push it with your head.
I do.
It shouldn't matter where anybody comes from, though, should it really? It's the person that you meet. And I like people who do things, you know, like play a guitar or play a piano.
Because can you do that?
No. But I like, you know, like a zoo...
In the green room, they'll all be going...
I like people, you know, like a zoo owner. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Zoo owner. But not somebody like, say, an archery or a xylophonist or other, you know,
Xylophonist.
or a farmer xylophonist.
Yeah.
Let's see what your potential dates make of that. Yeah, no, they're just drunk, Sherry.
You can only apologise.
Any of you own a zoo? Any of you own a guitar?
Guitar?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think it's difficult when you know, it doesn't matter who you meet, it's the relationship you have, it's the chemistry.
It is, it's their musical ability that counts, isn't it?
No, it is, it's the chemistry, it's whether you've got that... Isn't it, you know? It's like, you're talking about Tim, is he a steamer? No, not a steamer. Is he
He's not a boiler, is he?
Got a head on that Orient Express, hasn't she?
No, I don't mean a steamer. I mean, you know, something that goes...
Oh, so, yeah, someone that keeps it in.
Pressure cooker.
You know what, a smoulderer. You're a fire-eating person, and he's a smouldering person.
Smouldering, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I think that's why you...
Has Tim got mould?
Do you know, and she wonders why she hasn't got a boyfriend.
I bet you if we went to the green room now, it'd be empty. Those men have been legged it. Oh,
You're minting out for the lads tomorrow.
Oh, look, they're off. Don't blame you. Oh, she's looking for a man with mould. Will she find it? We're going to take a quick break, but join us back here because we will be putting Sherry's potential boyfriend/victims out of their misery and revealing which one of them will be joining her tomorrow on the Orient Express, steaming, smouldering and moulding.